Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kodash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations and much love to the rest of you sincere Akim pushing the word of truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Azar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from Excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether it be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, World War III is Inevitable, Part 3. The image I have on display is from a film I watched in my past. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular movie. This movie was released on December 6, 2002. So, man, this is almost 20 years back. The title of it is Equilibrium, as you can see. Directed by Kurt Wimmer. And I'm going to give you the quick synopsis here. I'm going to go in and bring out some scriptures. And you can read along on Wikipedia if you have it. Libria, a totalitarian city-state established by survivors of World War III, blames human emotion as the cause for the war. Any activity or object that stimulates emotion is strictly forbidden. Those in violation are labeled sense offenders and sentenced to death. The population is forced to take a daily injection of Prosium 2 to suppress emotion. Libria is governed by the Tetragrammaton Council led by a father who communicates propaganda through giant video screens throughout the city. At the pinnacle of law enforcement are the Grammaton clerics trained in the martial art of gun kata. Clerics frequently raid homes to search for and destroy illegal materials, art, literature, and music, executing violators on the spot. A resistance movement known as the Underground emerges to topple Father and the Tetragrammaton Council. Okay, but the main point of why I'm bringing this out is because the synopsis where it talks about the survivors of World War III. And as you can see, when Esau does these films, he knows that there's going to be a World War III. Hence the title of this particular video. Okay, and this all goes back into the scriptures to back that up. Revelations 9 verse 12 reads, "One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter." Okay, that's three woes altogether. All right, and we total them all up, and you add them all up together. Okay, but you see there's a lot in these particular films where they bring out World War III, and I totally forgot. I forgot what drew me to this. I guess probably because they were talking about Christian Bale's movies and things of that sort. And I totally forgot about Equilibrium, and me being a martial arts, a martial artist, I should say. People sometimes bring out certain movies when it comes to the action choreography, and some movies are just one standoff for me, and I just keep it moving. And sometimes the little meanings behind stuff, they don't really hit me the same way as they hit other people. But like, for instance, a lot of people like to talk about the Matrix and so forth. And for me, it's, I like the hidden meanings and so forth of that. But, when you are into action choreography like I am in, it just, it takes it away from you if you've actually been in combat. You need something that's a little more realistic. But back to, that's a whole nother video for another day. But basically, just the fact that I totally forgot that this was, I knew it was in the future, but I totally forgot that World War III was mentioned. And it's interesting how it talks about human emotion being the cause of it, because this being the year of the turn up, the Most High is going to turn up these spirits on all sides, whether it be the left or the right, to bring us closer to World War III. And you can kind of see it brewing right now with different things that they're not shown in the media. They're showing the other little stuff that people are more gravitating to. But it's totally inevitable. Okay, it's part of the scriptures and it's part of the prophecy. Okay, I already read Revelation 9 and 12. I'm going to go into Revelation 11 and 14 like I did in my part 1 video. Revelation 11 Verse 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So it just shows how the Second World War occurred and happened. I'm not going to give any specific dates, but you can go ahead and Google it and look it up yourself. But the Third War is right around the corner. Of course, between that, we had the Cold War, where both sides of the superpowers, be it America or Russia, were stockpiling nuclear weapons and nuclear arsenal. Okay, and they're both going back to the biblical nation of Edom, or the descendants of their patriarch Esau, okay, their progenitor, okay, which is where the so-called white race comes from, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be ushering in this World War III. And hey, it needs to happen because everything that has happened here to this particular country that they call America, which really is Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures, needs to pay for what it's done. All right. And Nahum chapter 3 verse 1 reads, woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not. Okay, so everything that's happened in this particular country is going to pay for it, and it's going to end with it being pelted by ICBMs and SLBMs. ICBMs are intercontinental ballistic missiles, and SLBMs are submarine launched ballistic missiles. And of course, the chariots of the Lord, which you people ignorantly call UFOs, are going to pelt this place with lasers and so forth in their particular weaponry. Okay, and that's going to be the end of America. All right, and it's going to be it's going to be an utter desert, just full of desert creatures like lizards and unclean birds. Okay. But I'm going to end it on this because I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. Even Yahushua spoke at this particular time, and this is the time we're living in. Matthew chapter 24 verse 6 reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, so we've already heard of this particular wars going on in Ukraine, where different rumors of wars starting to brew in the Middle East, and just not to be troubled, for these things all come to pass because it's part of prophecy. Okay, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and we see that happening right now with this whole Yay situation. You can see how pretty soon they're going to have to come down with full wrath, because they got to either shut up the people from talking about it, or they got to create another situation that makes it so that it eclipses the situation that you're already in, or Al-Qaeda. There's going to be a situation where it's going to be all total chaos, specifically during Jacob's trouble, and they're going to have this so-called solution, problem, reaction, solution. That's how they're going to come about. Okay, let me read that again. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, a nation against nation. That's going to be nationalities versus nationalities. Kingdom against kingdom is going to be governments versus governments. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, the famines, we're talking about that for quite some time, starting with the elder apostles on down. We almost saw a little bit of that at the beginning of this pandemic, where some of the supermarkets and grocery stores were limited on what they had. I just found out that Taco Bell brought back their Mexican pizza. You know how long they didn't have the Mexican pizza? And I asked the person at the drive-thru, I was like, hey, what was the story with the Mexican pizza getting off the menu? And he was like, yeah, it was the supply line that was messed up with that. And I forgot what particular ingredient they couldn't have, but they couldn't make the Mexican pizza. Okay, there should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, yeah, we're gonna have some more pestilences coming. That whole Crown of Vic was just one thing, and the certain other things going to be coming in the future. And earthquakes, I can go on and on about how many earthquakes that we've had. It's almost like you can't even keep up with it. All right, verse 8. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. Okay. All right, so it's going to get a lot harder and a lot worse before it gets better, and for the kingdom of heaven is actually established here on earth. But the whole purpose of this video is just to show you how, World War III is always mentioned in Esau's movies, television, and theater. And so because he knows eventually, that it has to occur. It was all part of prophecy. The Most High said it, let it be done. Okay. Well, I just wanted to share that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.